The reason why I became a criminal defense attorney, well, it starts out before I even became an attorney. I used to be vice president of a company. It was about a mid-sized corporation. And we brought a lot of people in that straight out of prison. Some of them came out of prison and unfortunately they would just go right back. But many of them actually had more going for them than you would think, somebody coming out of prison. And I found myself working closely with the parole officers. I found myself giving them opportunity. And now that I'm a criminal defense attorney and I look back on that time, I learned that, you know what? I can be someone's eyes and their fist to go in there and try to make sense of the situation. I can explain, this is what's gonna happen, this is what you're gonna expect, and this is what we can do to try to prevent the unknown being something that's horrible for you.
I've been working side by side with John Murray for almost 10 years now, and I can tell you that he has emerged as hands down one of the top criminal defense lawyers in Los Angeles County.
John Murray is an absolute superstar attorney, specifically when it comes to the area of DUI and DMV hearings.
In many DUI cases that I have, I consult with John Murray. I don't know anybody else who knows DUI cases as well. He's been doing them a long time.
If I ever got arrested for DUI, the first call I'd make would be to John Murray. John is an unbelievable DUI attorney. He knows DMV law, DUI law inside out.
DUI cases where it's a .15 BAC and the client had an accident and rolled up on the sidewalk and threw up, and you look at the police reports and you look at the facts of these cases and you say, most lawyers would say, I mean, it's hopeless. Just go in there and plead guilty. There's nothing I can do for you. But John Murray takes that case and he says, you know what? I'm going to work it up. I'm going to fight. I'm going to take it to trial. I'm going to fight to the bitter end. And I'll tell you, most of the time, he walks away with a victory.
Well, in 2009, I was pulled over for a DUI. They had me with a .13 and a .14 on a breathalyzer. So it was a hard case. And I started doing research and I came upon a Shouse law. I was referred to John Murray. We took it to trial. And John Murray came out and just started going after the breathalyzer. How all the technicalities of the machines and numbers and stuff like that. Jury deliberated for at least 3 hours. And they came back with an acquittal on the first count. And the judge ultimately dismissed the case. I was happy, very happy. You know, so was John Murray. He was like, man, it was a hard case and, you know, we can't believe we beat it. And I would definitely recommend John Murray.
Joining us now from Seattle is former prosecutor Ann Bremner and from Los Angeles criminal defense attorney John Murray. Thank you both for being here. John, I want to start with you. Is the verdict too harsh?
Yes, I do think the verdict is too harsh. The jury in this case was faced with a very severe consequence.
John Murray has an incredible passion for his work. I mean, first of all, he really sincerely cares about his clients.
John Murray is a cool cat. John Murray is one of those people where it's impossible not to like him.
John loves meeting with clients. And John is not one of those attorneys that's always looking at his phone, worrying about where he's going to be next or what he's doing tomorrow. John, when he's with the client, that client is all he sees. I've seen John spend hours and hours talking with a client just to go over any concerns that client may have. And John won't rest until he feels that client is completely comfortable and understands what's going on.
When you first appear on a case and the DA brings you this stack of papers and says, this is evidence, and he tells you these are the witnesses and this is what we want, and usually what they want is pretty harsh against your client. And it's my job, and it quite often happens in almost all of my cases. I go in there, I get my evidence, I make my arguments, I throw motions at them, and I fight hard and I work the case up. I make a difference. I see something that starts out horrible and I turn it into something much better for my clients.